The door clicked shut with a sound that felt louder than the snowfall outside, and before he could even say a word, the woman in the driver's seat reached across and locked it again. "Sir," she said calmly, eyes forward, hand resting near her radio, "you're not leaving." On Christmas Eve, with his daughter waiting at home and a borrowed coat that still smelled like the thrift store, a single dad realized he might have just ruined the only night of the year that still felt magical to his child. And if you've ever felt one small mistake snowball into something terrifying, stay with this story until the very end. And if stories like this touch your heart, remember to like the video and subscribe, because sometimes the quietest moments carry the biggest miracles. Ethan Carter hadn't meant to get into the wrong car. His mind was foggy from a double shift at the warehouse and the ache in his hands from lifting boxes that never seemed to get lighter. Christmas Eve had a way of doing that to him, stirring memories of a life before bills dictated every breath. Before his wife's laugh had vanished from the house like a song cut off mid-verse, he clutched a small paper bag in one hand, inside it a toy dinosaur with one missing eye, the last thing on the clearance shelf he could afford. His 6-year-old daughter, Lily, would love it anyway. She always did. The parking lot outside the grocery store was chaos. Snowflakes swirled under the orange glow of streetlights, carts rattled, engines hummed, and car doors slammed in hurried rhythms. Ethan spotted a dark sedan idling near the curb, the same color and shape as the rideshare he'd ordered. Without thinking, he yanked open the back door and slid in, breath fogging the cold air, murmuring, "Sorry I'm late." That was when the driver turned slightly, and he saw the badge clipped to her uniform. "Sir," the female cop said evenly, "why did you just get into my patrol vehicle?" Panic surged through him. "Yeah, I'm sorry. I thought a wrong car. I'll just..." He reached for the handle, but the doors locked with a sharp click that froze him in place. "You're not leaving," she said, not harshly, not kindly, just certain. Ethan's heart pounded so hard he could hear it in his ears. All he could think about was Lily sitting cross-legged on the living room floor, waiting for him to come home with hot chocolate and the promise that tomorrow would be special. He swallowed. "Officer, please. I made a mistake. I've had a long day." She studied him through the rearview mirror. She was young, maybe early 30s, with tired eyes that suggested she, too, had been working longer than she wanted. "Name?" she asked. "Ethan." "Ethan Carter." "And what's in the bag?" "A broken bar toy. For my daughter." Silence stretched between them, thick as the falling snow. The officer, her name tag read Officer Ramirez, keyed her radio briefly, then turned the car into a nearby lot. "You understand why I can't just let you walk away, right?" she said. "I do," Ethan replied quietly. "I just a broken bar. Please don't make me miss Christmas Eve with her." Something flickered across her face, gone as quickly as it came. She stepped out of the car and opened his door, gesturing for him to follow. They stood under the awning of closed storefront as snow dusted their shoulders. She asked questions of where he lived, where he worked, why he looked like he hadn't slept in days. He answered honestly, because honesty was all he had left. As he spoke, his story spilled out in pieces. His wife, Anna, gone 3 years now after a sudden illness. The way Lily still set an extra place at the table sometimes. The way money never seemed to stretch far enough, no matter how carefully he planned. Officer Ramirez listened without interrupting, her expression unreadable. "Wait here," she finally said, walking back to her patrol car. Ethan stood alone, cold seeping through his worn boots, fear gnawing at him. He imagined handcuffs, paperwork, explanations he didn't have the energy for. He imagined Lily's face when he didn't come home on time. He squeezed his eyes shut, whispering a promise into the night that he'd do better somehow, someday. The car door opened again. "Mr. Carter," Officer Ramirez said, softer now, "I ran your name. You're clean. No warrants, nothing." Relief crashed over him so hard his knees nearly buckled. "Thank you," he breathed. "But," she added, "you still made a serious mistake, and it's Christmas Eve." He nodded, bracing himself. "Get in," she said, opening the passenger door. Confused, he obeyed. She drove, the city blurring past as holiday lights shimmered against the snow. "Where are we going?" he finally asked. "You said your daughter's waiting," she replied. "You didn't think I'd keep you from her, Did you?" Tears stung his eyes. "I didn't know what to think." They pulled up to a small apartment complex, lights glowing warmly in the windows. Before he could get out, Officer Ramirez reached into the back seat and handed him another bong. "This one heavy. I keep this for a broken bar situations," she said, looking away. Inside were groceries, a gift card, and a brand new dinosaur toy, its size bright and intact. "I can't," Ethan started. "You can," she said firmly. "And you will, because tonight isn't about pride. It's about a little girl believing in magic." He laughed through tears he couldn't stop. "Why are you doing this?" She hesitated. "Because once, a long time ago, someone did it for me." Ethan stepped out into the snow, heart full and aching all at once. From an upstairs window, Lily pressed her face to the glass, eyes wide. When she saw him, she squealed, racing to the door. He turned back, but the patrol car was already pulling away, red and blue lights fading into the night. Inside, Lily hugged him like she'd never let go, chattering about Santa and cookies and how she knew he'd come back. Ethan held her close, breathing in the scent of home, feeling something he hadn't felt in years. A hope. And somewhere down the road, Officer Ramirez drove on, another shift nearly over, knowing that on this Christmas Eve, she hadn't just locked a door, she'd opened one. So if this story moved you, if it reminded you that kindness can appear in the most unexpected moments, take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel, because the world is full of locked doors, but sometimes, all it takes is one brave heart to turn the key.